Good evening, Melissa here, and welcome to Cooking and Wine for Lovers, Experience number 18. This evening we are making sweet garlic pork roast with a beautiful Pinot Noir from Bella Glass. So sweetheart, tell us what goes in tonight's meal.
All right, this is going to be really yummy. We haven't made this in a while. We're starting off with 1 4-pound or so pork butt, Boston butt roast, and then we have 2 jalapenos, and as always, heat is to your preference. Then we have 3/4 cup of brown sugar. We have 10 cloves of garlic, because this is sweet garlic pork roast. We have a full stick of unsalted butter. Then we have garlic salt from Lawry's as usual. We have black pepper. We have some unoaked Chardonnay. We have some apple cider vinegar. We're going to use 1/4 cup of each. And then we're going to make black beans and rice tonight, Cuban style. So we have a shallot. We have 8 more cloves of garlic. We have some yellow rice, black beans, of course, some chili powder, and some cumin. And we'll show you how to put this all together and make a really, really yummy meal. All right, so the first part is we're going to get this pork ready for cooking. Now, we're doing this part first tonight on this experience because this takes a little longer to cook. And so the pros and cons, you have some time to kill in between while we're cooking. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this pork butt and cut it into 8 pieces. And of course, we're going to use our meat-only cutting board. You can see we started like this. And then I'm going to cut this into 8 pieces, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to get our sauce ready for the pork. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put our butter in a saucepan, put it on medium to high heat. We're going to add our garlic in here. We're going to add our brown sugar in here. We're going to add 1/4 cup of Chardonnay white wine. And then we're going to add 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And what we're going to do is let this all heat up. We're going to stir everything around and let it all melt and combine. So we'll get that heated up, and as soon as it's all done, we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so look at this sauce, nice and melted. Look how good that looks. Smells really yummy. We have our pork pieces cut. This ended up working out to be about 10 pieces, but 6 to 10, whatever works out, depending on how big your pork roast is. We're going to season this pork roast, as always, with our Lawry's garlic salt. You can be very liberal with this, because it gives a lot of great flavor. And then we're going to use some black pepper. Fresh is always better if you can do it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of this sauce in the bottom of our saucepan. Going to mix that around a little bit. Then we're going to take our pork pieces and put them in our pan. Okay, that looks yummy. And then the easy part here is just going to take this sauce and just pour it all over our pork. Make sure they all get covered. Yeah, that looks really yummy, sweetheart. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place these jalapenos on top. And the cool thing about this is, since they're not totally mixed into the pork and totally mixed into the sauce, the jalapenos just add some flavor without really making it that hot. So if you're not really a big fan of heat, this is something you can do to get a little bit of flavor without making it, burn your face off. And then what we're going to do, now that we have this all together, is we're going to take this and put it into our oven, which we preheated to 300 degrees. And lastly, we're going to cover it with aluminum foil. And then we're going to set the timer for 1 hour and 30 minutes. And the cool thing is, now you have about an hour with nothing to do. So use your imagination and see what comes to mind. And then we'll come back and show you the next part of this great meal. Okay, everyone, so we know the whole point of cooking wine for lovers is to dress up and look nice for each other. And Melissa, you always find a way. This is a cool dress I love. What's the story on this one?
Thank you, sweetheart. Well, this one I found on an online retailer when I was shopping, probably bored, was just surfing the internet. But I like it because it's comfortable. You can dress it up with a little extra jewelry. You can make it casual with some flip-flops, but it's very light, very comfortable, and it's very cheerful.
And I think I've seen you in that in high heels before, too, and that looks pretty awesome
You
as
have.
well. So tonight we have another great wine. This is a Pinot Noir from Bella Glace. We seem to have found these Pinot Noirs go really well with the pork dishes. This is the Ballade version of Bella Glace Pinot Noir. It's a really great wine. It comes in this cool bottle with the wax on top. Our bottle maybe has seen some better days from being in the wine fridge, but the wine inside is just as good. And Melissa's going to read us the tasting notes for this great wine.
Okay, so this wine has dark violet in color with aromas of dark fruit and toasted brioche with a hint of baking spice to round out the nose. A full palate that is expansive that skews to a chalky firmness with rounded edges. Blackberry, boysenberry, French toast, creamy vanilla, black pepper, and cinnamon dance on the palate. Perfectly balanced with a finish that will linger with a hint of ripe but sour cranberry.
Okay, so that sounds like it's going to be really awesome
Yes.
with our sweet garlic pork tonight. Melissa's going to get this open. We're going to get it in our decanter. And as always, this is a Pinot Noir, so it doesn't really need to be decanted, but as we've said before, it's just kind of fun. So we're going to open it, get it in the decanter, pour it in some glasses, and give it a try.
So we poured the wine in our really cool Cooking and Wine for Lovers wine glasses.
Super duper cool glasses.
Yes. And now let's give it a try.
Cheers, sweetheart.
Cheers.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
that is
really nice
good.
and smooth. That's a good Pinot Noir.
Sure is.
This is going to be really good with dinner tonight.
I am
Okay,
excited.
but you got to save this one because the pork is still cooking, so don't drink it all before the pork's done. Okay, y'all, it has been 90 minutes since we were here last and put the pork in the oven. Hope you guys found something fun to do. We did. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our pork roast in the oven. We're going to pull it out. Use some mitts. Don't hurt yourself. We're going to take off our aluminum foil. And then what we're going to do with these pork pieces is we're going to flip each one of them and get each piece in some more of that juice and turn it over so it can cook better. And after we turn all of these, what we're going to do then is put it back in the oven for another 30 minutes. Smelling good, babe.
It looks wonderful.
And then make sure you get your meat thermometer ready because we're going to check the temperature of the pork before we take it out. Make sure it's about 160 just for safety reasons. All right, so we got them all turned. We're going to leave it uncovered now. Push it back into the oven and set it for another 30 minutes. All right, so we just flipped our pork pieces and now we're going to start getting our beans and rice ready, Cuban style. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to saute our shallots. We've done this before. We're going to put just a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of a saute pan. And then we're going to add our shallots. And what we're going to do is we're going to saute these shallots until they just start to caramelize. And then we're going to add the garlic. And they'll cook up just like they always do. It takes about maybe 10-15 minutes. We add the garlic as they start to brown. And then we're going to add these to our black beans and rice that we're going to make here in just a little bit. Okay, you see these shallots are getting pretty nice and caramelized. We're going to add our garlic in there and mix that around. And then what we're going to do is we're just mix this all together till they're fully caramelized and the garlic is fully incorporated. And then we'll be done with these and ready for them to go into the black beans, which we'll do next. Okay, so it has been another 30 minutes. We're almost there. We're going to pull our pork out again. Just be careful. Use an oven mitt. And what we're going to do is we're going to spoon sauce all over these pieces to keep it moist. So let's get a bunch of that awesome sauce all over each piece. You can do whatever you want with the jalapenos. I like keeping them in there. It just adds a little bit of flavor, a little bit of heat, but not really that hot since they're not in the sauce. Look at that. That smells so good, babe. All right, so sauce has completely covered everything. We're going to put this back in the oven for 30 more minutes, and then we're going to test it and make sure it's about 160 degrees before we pull it out to eat. Okay, so this is definitely one of our longer meals, but it is really good. You guys are going to like it. I am going to check the wine and make sure it's still good since it's been a while. Yes, and that one does open up nicely. So first thing is we have our rice cooking on the stove according to package directions. That won't take that long. It's about 20 minutes or so. Now we're going to make these black beans Cuban style on top of the rice. So first thing is we're going to pour in the whole can of black beans. And we've tried a couple different kinds. This is not a bad brand. We're going to mix in our shallot and garlic mixture from earlier. That's yummy. We're going to mix in a tablespoon of the Pinot Noir red wine. We're going to mix in 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to put in a half a tablespoon of chili powder, a half a tablespoon of cumin, or pardon me, teaspoon. I said tablespoon, I meant teaspoon. And then 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. And Lowry's, of course. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to mix that together. We're going to turn on the heat, bring it to a just slight boil, and let it reduce then until the beans are kind of tight and solid. And then these are going to go on top of our rice with our pork, and it's going to be super, super duper yummy. Okay, we are finally ready for dinner. One of our longer ones, but this pork is so good. So Melissa's going to plate this up for us. And she's going to start here with some of our yellow rice, which we just cooked with the Mahatma brand. It's pretty yummy. And she's going to put some of our Cuban black beans with the shallots and garlic and all those spices. It's so yummy. And she's going to take a piece of this pork and put it next to that. And then what she's going to do is take a spoon and spoon some of this sauce over there. If you want it spicy, you can throw a jalapeno on there, or however you like. Maybe a little bit of sauce on the rice and beans just to add some flavor. This is so yummy.
Yum.
Okay.
There we go.
This is a cool meal because you can do this so many different ways, but this is the one we found is the best. So once again, a little bit of yellow rice and some of the black beans, Cuban black beans and rice. Ooh, that looks so yummy.
And pork.
And she's going to get a piece of this pork, put it on there, and then most importantly, some of this awesome sweet garlic sauce.
With a jalapeno?
With jalapeno. My wife, if you didn't know, is a jalapeno freak. When we get jalapeno margaritas, she always asks for more jalapenos.
I love spicy.
So do we. Okay, so our dinner's ready. We're going to sit down and have dinner and enjoy the rest of our night.
Amen.
Okay, so look at this beautiful table that my wife has set up. The whole point of tonight is being romantic. The dinner just looks absolutely fabulous. We have a nice little romantic setup. We're going to have dinner and enjoy the rest of the night. We've spent all night together, dressed up, looking pretty, and it's going to be awesome. So, sweetheart, this has been such a fun evening. This has been a great night. It has, and it smells so good in here. I can't wait to try it. I don't know, and sometimes the longer meals, the time to cook gives you a little more time to spend together. It does. And look at each other all dressed up. I know I love watching you walk around the kitchen all night tonight, dressed so pretty with such a nice dress and everything. Thank you, honey. And we're going to finish our wine and have this great meal. We are. And remember, everyone, the couples that cook together and drink wine together stay together. And that's for certain, and we've proved it for 11 years. We have. So stick around, do one of these things, keep it going, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Cheers. Cheers.